Good morning and welcome back to Aspheric this morning. How are you doing? Where are you watching us from? I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Today, as we have always in our studio, Alhaji Mustafa is here.
Good morning, Doctor.
Alhaji, how are you?
I'm good, are you?
Yesterday, there's more interesting stories from the Kant presentation yesterday. You know, the Christian Association of Nigerians met with all the presidential aspirants and just a dialogue, discuss with them, what is your take from there?
Well, it's
okay. Go to detail.
It's okay because we are beginning to see that we are departing from what we are used to. That is, election will come, gentlemen and the ladies from nowhere, they will just pick their forms, and at the end of the day, Nigerians will still vote ahead. But this time around, it's obvious that Nigerians have become very conscious to the elections. So, and not individual now, but we are seeing different organizations, and CAN, being an umbrella body of the Christian in Nigeria, decide to say, look, we're not going to sit back. Let's give that forum whereby we will have a one-on-one discussion with the presidential aspirants. They have already started with Tinubu. They met Tinubu yesterday, of which everybody knows the circumstances around Tinubu, which is of same faith ticket. Well, at his engagement with the CAN, he was able to speak out. He now said so many things, but it's not left for CAN to now say, okay, what we have said is convincing enough to say, okay, we are going to relay back to all our members based on what you said. So, and they will continue with that engagement with other presidential aspirants. So, at the end of the day, CAN will now decide to make their choice to say, okay, although we are not expecting them to openly come out to say, okay, we are throwing our support behind this, but the engagement will determine at least all the members of CAN through their representative, through the members, they will be able to have a clear view of what the presidential aspirants are putting forward before Nigerians. So, it's let's see how it goes.
All right, thank you so much. In case you're joining for the first time, do not forget to follow us on our social media handle, and our social media they are out there displayed on the screen. In case you want to join the conversation, do not forget to call on us on WhatsApp. Please, we say WhatsApp calls. That's fantastic. When you call us on the WhatsApp call, the number displayed on the screen is +234 809999 8117 +234 809999 8117. Do not forget to follow us on our social media handle. Social media handle are out there on the screen as well. Official Aspheric News, that is on our Facebook channel, and as Aspheric News on our Twitter, and Aspheric News also on our Instagram page. Please do not forget to follow us and also comment on share our content. Our YouTube channel is very important to you, also is important to us as well. So do not forget to click on notification after subscribing, please. But we believe that anyone who's watching has to also subscribe for you to get more update or notification. We are going to bring you more update. But today, for us to discuss, we'll be discussing our national newspaper headlines this morning. For us to start this morning, we'll start from this day. In this day newspaper, they hear what's on this day newspaper. In this day newspaper, we have Senate back CBN on Naira redesigning after road section. So that was actually happening yesterday.
Yes,
I hope you watched it yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it.
There was so much controversy, attack, but at the end of the day,
they have an amicable engagement,
and also they have a conclusion. Look, this is a good idea from the presidency and also from the CBN that we really need to support them to achieve it. But before I go into details, EFCC chairman said something. I was yesterday for they said that it's targeted the
200 naira.
The redesigning of naira is targeted only on the looters. So they want to figure out those who looted from Nigeria.
And he said he went further. He said something very spectacular. He said at the end of the day, after the redesigning and the cleanup, that dollar most likely it will come down to 200 naira. So Nigerians is a cheerful projection that will have to like give that support. So the aspect of the looters is what
you know the thing is, let me not cut you out. The thing is, before I ask you this question, the thing is, most of this money are not in a bank.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to trade.
Yeah.
For example, the video we saw in Kano. Was it Kano? I don't really know the right thing, but I saw a video. There's a video that was shared some weeks ago.
Truckload of Nigerian currency.
I mean,
some of them have already gone bad. So, well, we cannot just conclude that that money was looted. You know, most Nigerians, especially when you are in a city like Onitsha or Kano, you will now see that some traders who decide to hold their money and keep it because it's something that they need it every now and then to like they are buying, they are selling, they are buying and selling. So the only thing now, what I have seen so far is that CBN should be able to like to go on aggressive sensitization to sensitize even the market women. No matter the amount of money you have, it can still go through the normal banking process. They should let them know. Apart from that, again, there are things that within the economy, if the central bank of any nation cannot keep track of the money in circulation, it causes problem. Apart from the looting aspect, government cannot plan, or the CBN cannot plan on their monetary policies and achieve very well, because if they don't keep track of amount of money in circulation, that is a problem on its own. And I believe that after this redesigning, before they end it, I believe that almost everyone that is keeping money within outside the banking cycle, all the money will be in the CBN. And when the design is complete, CBN will be able to like know the amount of money, the liquidity cash ratio in circulation. They should be able to like keep track of that.
All right. So about one of the options they give, that they have to extend the CBN should extend the deadline to April 30th. Yeah. That is to enable the honorable members to offload cash.
Offload cash
during the election. So what's the sense of redesigning Naira now? Because the president has made it clear that he will not allow people to use money.
Yeah. Well,
because if he allow it to April, that means the same thing will still happen. Those who have stock money for election,
they will still use
it to influence others.
So I believe that eventually it's just their own call that they just made. It's not left for the CBN now to now say, okay, we accept your decision. But I believe that there is no way that CBN will allow that, because even if you decide to allow to say, okay, Nigerians, we are giving you now from now to December 2023, don't keep this money, Nigerians will still do it. Recall what happened with the NIN, National Identification Number. It continued to shift until Barrister Monday when they decided to approach the bank, eventually for the extension. But you discover that each time that they decide to extend, more Nigerians keep coming out to do their NIN. It means that Nigerians will have this character on our own part, whereby we like to do things within our own pace, which is not well. And this time around, it has to do with money. I believe that nobody will play around to say, okay, my money, I will keep your money because you are expecting extension. Nobody would like to take that risk, because at the end of the day, once it's been they refuse to extend it, that money will become useless. So nobody will play that gamble. National Assembly, they should be able to like to allow CBN to do their work instead of that extension.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that CBN need approval from the National Assembly to carry out this action?
Well, yeah, it's part of the overseer function of this National Assembly. No matter whoever you are, even the executive, they must oversee what the activities of the executive. So it's within their own mandate to checkmate activities of anyone within Nigeria, any organization within Nigeria. It's within their mandate. Although CBN is an independent body, and their suggestion is more or less like a plea on the part of CBN. So it's left for the CBN now to say, okay, we will give that room for extension. So it's not like National Assembly has done something outside the law. So they are doing within the law. So and it's not left for central bank now to say, look, we'll take into consideration your call.
All right. So next, we're still on this newspaper. We have Still on this newspaper, Tinubu, I can't Islamize Nigeria if I couldn't Islamize my home. Says those opposed to Shettima lobbied to be vice president, but were rejected. Can insist on secular state. Meet APC presidential, hopefully. As Lagos governor meet private stakeholders today in Imo. That is a Tinubu campaign and the visit of yesterday. Atiku at NGE forum. Vow to continue Obasanjo's economic policy. Restates desire to privatize aligned government enterprise. Says nation needs healings. Vow to form government of national unity. He was once a vice president. President Obasanjo. Don't forget that all the comment from the former president is not aligned with him, and he never. I mean, he always abused him, and I mean, advising Nigeria not to allow him to get access to power. So why is he saying that he still have to go back to implement Obasanjo's?
Well, if you recall, what the cause of their disagreement is in respect of the 2003 re-election bid of Obasanjo. So, and Obasanjo, based on his character, based on people that they have known him right from the military time, he doesn't have that forgiving spirit. If you temper with him one way or the other, he will make sure that he will continue to haunt you, and that's exactly what he's doing. Well, for Atiku to now said, okay, he will continue with the economic policy of Obasanjo. It has nothing to do with their personal relationship. It's more or less like a governance thing. It's not about a personal relationship. And if you recall now, if you see Atiku all along, they've been trying to persuade Obasanjo for support, but that damage has already been done. Most of the criticism against Atiku is what Obasanjo has said, because if you look at the Obasanjo's book, he now talk about almost about 2 pages or 3 pages that centered most on Atiku, of which accused him of being corrupt and some other act too. So it's more or less like the personal beef. It's not like they are having a personal beef which is around the re-election of Obasanjo in 2023, whereby Atiku too had wanted to take a shot at it in 2003 until, based on what we heard, that Stella Obasanjo had to go on her knees to beg Atiku to say, please allowed the president to seek this re-election and succeed, or that. Then eventually, we now saw after the re-election of Obasanjo, now it became a serious problem to the extent that Obasanjo like suspended him from the office to say, look, until Atiku now went to the court, and eventually he got that victory that the president doesn't have power to suspend him from the office like that. So this is the prelude to their problem. So, and he's coming out now to say, okay, he will continue with the economic policy of Obasanjo. Well, Obasanjo's economic policy gave a kind of a stability between 1999 to 2007. You could see that the naira was stable. That devaluation was not really there. Even oil per se, that the oil revenue that we're crying out today, oil revenue as at that time doesn't cross. There was never a time that it crossed between. It was between. In 1999, when Obasanjo came, it was like $14 per barrel. Then when he left, it was between $25 to $30 per barrel. So if he said he's going to continue, there are some other policy that Obasanjo pursued, economic policy that he pursued that gave a kind of stability to the economy then. So that is where he is now referring to, that he's going to continue with it. Then the other part, which is privatization. The privatization that he's talking about is something that is one area that Nigerians doesn't believe in, that because you discover that PHCN, that is old NEPA, from NEPA to PHCN, and then eventually to whatever it becomes. And today we still have that problem of light problem. The privatization that they did that time did not give much success. So, and then the other aspect that is like Nigerian airline that was liquidated. It was liquidated till now. Nigeria doesn't have a national carrier. So these are part of it. It's not something that he can just say he wants to continue with it or rush into it. Although it's just a campaign promises. It's not left for Nigeria now to now say, look, you have stated the comment enough, that which is convincing enough that we are going to give your support. But I believe that it needs a lot of discussion regarding the privatization that he's talking about. It's not something that you just decide to say, okay, I'm privatizing NNPC, I'm privatizing this, you're privatizing that. The essence of privatization is achieving productivity. If you privatize and it doesn't yield that productivity, and which is not even accessible to the bulk of Nigerians, it means the essence of the privatization is defeated. So about Atiku should have a rethink when he's pursuing his privatization agenda that he's putting before Nigerians, because the information that Nigerians have regarding privatization is a different thing to what he's talking about. That is it.
All right, so the next to discuss will be on Daily Trust newspaper. And Daily Trust newspaper, we have PDP crisis, G5 governors demand equity in the reconciliation move. We won't pay ASU for work not done. We won't pay ASU for work not done. Federal government insists. Gombe backs 4 World Bank State Award on fiscal transparency. I think that's the first award, Kogi State. Okay. Can set agenda for Tinubu, Atiku over others. Sorry. Keating's Buhari's successor Mozutu can president. That's, you have to get that story on page 4. Why I didn't pick Christians running mate. Tinubu make that comment yesterday, and let's look at the ABSU issue with the federal government. Recently, even students were protesting alongside with the ASU, yes, and they are demanding that they should pay them. Yeah. And the question I ask myself: somebody is at home, and they will pay you. You have let me hear from you. Let's just hear from you.
Well, it's not like a private sector whereby you said, okay, no work, no pay. This time around is like government, and we should not forget that it's not like they have gone out of employment. It's industrial dispute. Industrial dispute, there's no any part of their...
So they're blaming the government.
They're blaming the government that, look, we have a demand, and that demand now could not be resolved, and that is why we embark on industrial action. And the government now is now saying that, look, the industrial action that we embark on, it did not favor us in any way. It means you did not work for the period of almost 8 months, and they're expecting to be paid. No way, we cannot pay you. And that is what the Minister of Education came out to insist yesterday, that we're not going to pay you. So, and that's so nice now, like giving some other condition whereby they now say they're engaging on protest. Well, what we as Nigerians we are calling on the government to do is not to allow a situation whereby this non-payment, these areas that the ASU is being owed, they shouldn't allow it to degenerate to the extent that ASU will decide to go on another strike again. And we understand the body language of the government. The body language of the government is this, that they wouldn't want a situation whereby ASU or any other industrial union tomorrow will now get up and say, okay, they are proceeding on strike. If you proceed on strike, you should expect payment, and that is the language that the government is trying to speak out now, so that it will now bring industrial harmony. But the fact is that is strike action outside the law of industrial law in Nigeria. I don't think that it's illegal. I don't think it's illegal. It's a way of pressing for their demand to demand and condition to be met. And in this case now, you now discover that ASU is talking about funding of the university, talking about their own salary structure and the IPPIS argument. But at the end of the day, it was not resolved until they now embark on this strike. And within this strike, it was not, they were unable to resolve it until government decided to approach the industrial court. And the industrial court now made that pronouncement, whereby they were being compelled to come back to the class. Well, at the end of the day now, I still believe that they will still go back to court for the interpretation regarding their salary arrears that was not paid. For now, they shouldn't give the room for any industrial action again. Let there be peace, let there be stability within the tertiary education in Nigeria.
All right, next it is going to be on the Nation newspaper. Nation newspaper, we have Tinubu. I am not seeking office on religious ground. That is on the Nation newspaper. Rivers won't vote for president along party line, says Wike. Rivers won't vote for president along party lines, says Wike. That from the governor of Rivers State. We also have Buhari approve 134.7 billion for military, and he made a comment that he will leave a safe secured state, and secure state. That's what he mentioned yesterday. After the approval, one back 13.5 million financial plan for Nigerians. Tribunal compelled INEC to release Adeleke certificate. UK government launched 1 million scheme to lift women. That was actually in Nigeria. Let's just start from the Adeleke's issue on INEC. Why having all this certificate?
Well, it's not.
That declared him winner. So
yes.
Why did not release the certificate?
It's not the tribunal now that is order INEC to release to make the document public so that APC can have access to it. This certificate issue has been a problem that up to the Supreme Court, that the Supreme Court now decided to give judgment regarding that. According to what they said, okay, as at when he finished secondary school, he claimed to finish secondary school, he did not write a WAEC, of which is parading another a WAEC now. It led to a court case during his first outing then. Eventually, it proceeded to the Supreme Court, and then he now said that, look, he has already gone to school again to rewrite WAEC, of which
it was officially everybody was aware.
Everybody was aware. But what APC is now banking on now is that he did not physically sit for the exam himself. You now see the differences now. So APC is now trying to say, okay, look, what they are trying to know the particular certificate that he presented and applied for this at the INEC. So the court now is now compelling INEC to say, okay, make public the certificate that he presented and submitted alongside his form. So it's going to be a very interesting legal judgment. But what I have seen so far is it seems as if APC have come to the realization that they made mistake, and they are trying all they could do so that election will be annulled, so that they will conduct another election, or at best, Adeleke should be disqualified. And I believe that is what they are trying to do.
All right, so the next we discuss on national paper to discuss will be Daily Sun newspaper. We have Atiku outlined 5 focus areas as Tinubu meet Khan. PDP candidate tells editors he will form government of national unity. Already prepared framework for restructuring. I have never, won't run my administration on religious bias. That is APC candidate saying that. I will leave a safe country next year. For me, he can't wait.
It seems as if to me, it seems as if he's even tired with the whole thing. Compared to 2015, when he was just living here and there to convert support from Nigerians, it seems as if he's tired.
By this time, it was. By this time, 2015,
2014, everything was so tense.
2018, 2019.
Yeah, and now
it was everywhere.
Yeah,
try to get. But I just like the comment, and also like this fact that he's giving opportunity for people to, planning for the safe.
So transition. It's okay. Whatever has a beginning must have an end. So in 2014, 2015, you can see that it was a tense situation. It goes along to show us that, look, anything that has beginning, it must have an end. In a democracy, there is a fixed term that you be in the office, and eventually you will still leave that office. We shouldn't kill ourselves because we are seeking this thing. It's all about to come and serve Nigeria, whereby within here you must give account of your steward, and the hereafter again you still give account to your maker. So we shouldn't take it as a do or die, whereby we will now decide to now encourage thuggery, encourage this. The only thing that we can talk about is to encourage Nigerians to go there and pick their PVCs and exercise their franchise. It's within our constitutional right to say, okay, you have the right, once you have voting age above 18, you have the right to vote. So we should be able to do our own diligent job, whereby we go out on the election day and do our vote instead of this. So you can also see that in 2014, that Buhari that we're talking about, Buhari is about leaving office now. You understand? It's about leaving office now, and he'll go quietly, he'll go back and enjoy his retirement life and become ex-leader, just like Obasanjo, Babangida, and some other ex-leaders in Nigeria.
All right, so we still have CSOs seek sanction against underage voting, duplicate in INEC register. That was on Guardian newspaper. That's on Guardian newspaper. Let me try and read out what their complaint is all about. Said with less than 10 days to the 2023 general election, claimed up to the registration and underage voters have tried the preliminary voters register published by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), despite repeated assurance by the Commission and President Muhammad Buhari to deliver free, fair, and credible election. I think we will have about 93 million
voters
registered voters according to the INEC. Upon this publication, that was 2 days ago or something. There's a publication a few days ago that these are the number of persons that have been
eligible to vote.
They have done a cleanup.
So the truth is that it's still the same INEC that is coming out to say, look, we have discovered some discrepancies within the voters list. So, and the CSO now, the civil society organization, are now coming out and insisting that INEC should do the needful, and whoever they discover that is that is not within the law to now say, okay, you are eligible to vote, like underage, they should be able to weed them out. Well, we should first of all commend INEC to say, okay, they have already initiated that process to say, look, they want sanity, they want to sanitize the whoever is carrying the PVC should be able to be eligible to vote, should fall above 18 or within the aging vote. Well, whether they are going to do the needful to say, okay, this one is underage, you are not supposed to get this PVC. But another thing again that we'll talk about, last time INEC said that, look, 23 of their staff were being nabbed for double registration and some other electoral fraud. Have they been able to prosecute this staff of theirs? Without that prosecution, they won't send that signal to Nigerians to that, look, they are serious. And that is why you are now seeing civil society organization coming out to talk about this underage voting. Their ad hoc staff or whatever staff that enroll these underage children. If you enroll these underage children, at the end of the day, they now use that PVC. It means that electoral malpractices has taken place, and that is why CSO is now coming out and making that plea. And I believe that in the next few weeks, we are going to see even the political parties are coming out to speak against this particular aspect of the PVC process. Well, President Buhari, on his own part, he has said that, look, he wants to conduct a credible and free and fair election. Whether the election is going to be credible, it must start from who is eligible to vote and who is not supposed to vote. So INEC should be able to do the needful. Who is not supposed to vote, like the underage that we are talking about now, they should be able to, don't allow them to vote. If you allow them to vote, you are setting a path whereby it can lead to anarchy, because election is a very serious case. It's not it's a worldwide thing that election is a very serious case. Take for instance, like in US now, up to now they are still dragging the aspect of 2020 election that Trump lost. That is how election is worldwide. It's not like peculiar to our own side here. So the only way is just allow a credible process, and the credible process must start from one man, one vote. And who is not eligible to vote should not be allowed to vote.
Right, thank you so much. Except you are joining us for the first time, do not forget to follow us on our social media handle. Our social media handle is displayed on the screen. Do not forget to call on us on WhatsApp, on the text, on the SMS. If you have any issue, what you wanted to share for you, we're out there for everyone. So we also we are open for conversation. If you have any detail of information you want us to share in your area, let's just ask you one question. What is happening in your area? What's the discussion about interest you? What is your comment? What do you want Nigerians to do? Can you please drop your comment on the comment section and let us know how you feel about the discussion? Also, let's hear your view. Join us the same time tomorrow by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Do not forget to join us 10 a.m. tomorrow. My name remains Israeli Beleme, and I'm still in the studio with me is Alhaji Abdullahi Mustafa, who will be tomorrow, and we'll give you more details of what's happening today. Thank you so much, and bye for now.